Hey, welcome back everybody. This is the K.I.S.S HD, keeping it super simple here with some Battlefield Hardline running straight from the PS4. Yes, I did get a beta key successfully, I believe 2 days later or a day later. No, my mistake. A day later after signing up. I got it in my Yahoo email, and if you guys want access to the beta for PS4 or PC, just go to Battlelog, or if you own Battlefield 4, go to the overview on PS4. I'm not sure about PC, but you should just go straight to Battlelog and sign up for one. You should possibly get it in a day or two, and if you don't get it, it's probably because they've ran out or they're gonna give you a different date. But I just got mine today, so you might be able to get it as well. Now I'm just gonna be giving you my thoughts on Battlefield Hardline. And the first thing I just like to pull off is the interface. If you've played Battlefield 4 like I have, I've put a lot of days and time into it, so I do feel like I should know how Battlefield looks and plays. The only problem I have with Hardline is that the interface is Battlefield 4. It's basically a copy and paste interface. I'm not talking about the customization scene. I'm not talking about the loading scene. I'm not talking about the scene where right after you die. I'm talking about once you get in the game. You got the death list count where it shows if somebody has killed you and stuff like that, but it looks just like Battlefield. The mini map, it feels just like Battlefield 4. Everything looks like Battlefield 4. The only thing I would give it a mighty bump up is how the game plays. It doesn't feel as buggy as Battlefield 4's beta. It is as sometimes drops in FPS, but you don't get glitches like one-shot kills and ridiculous things like lag. There isn't that much lag, but yes, there is FPS drop, surprisingly, for a 32-man server. Because if you guys have played Battlefield 4 on PS4 and you've played a 32-man server, the FPS barely drops. It keeps a 60 locked, either on rush or obliteration, and I believe rush and obliteration only give you 32-man servers. And conquest, small conquest, you shouldn't see that much drop like I am seeing on Battlefield Hardline. Yes, of course, this is the beta, and yes, they can fix it, but this is just things that I'm pointing out that possibly can be adjusted, because sometimes the FPS does drop really bad for some reason. It's at random times. It's not even when things get too heavy, and I believe there's no point in it to drop, because when things get heavy on a 32-man server, it isn't as big as a 64-man server. Now, you do get two game modes in Battlefield Hardline. You get Heist and Blood Money. I've been playing Heist a lot, and I can't really explain what Blood Money is, but Heist is basically a base that you hold off from criminals or the cops, or you try to take it away. It's basically like a rush defense type of game mode. It's pretty fun. It's fast paced. The enemies are coming at you fast. I love the map. It's not too big. It's just the right size to just go around. The buildings are accessible sometimes if you want to be a sniper and just pick off the enemies, but it isn't as big because it's not a 64-man conquest server. But as of now, Heist is really a great looking game, and one thing I would give Hardline is that it doesn't play like Battlefield 4, if you understand. The game mode, it feels different considering it's criminals versus cops. It's very easy to pick off your enemy. Basically, if you're a criminal and you see a cop, he's the enemy, because I do get confused a lot in Battlefield 4 when I used to play it, thinking that the guy right next to me was the enemy or my teammate, and I am just a dumbass for just pointing that out. But sometimes I do have those moments where I feel as though I should have shot the guy because he wasn't on my team, or because he was wearing a different cloak. But basically, if you're the cops, shoot anybody that looks like a criminal. If you're a criminal, shoot anybody that looks like a cop. And that's very easy to differentiate, and it just makes the game feel a lot more easier to just pick off the enemies. I'm sorry, this is me. I have put a lot of time into Battlefield 4, and that's just how I feel about Battlefield Hardline. One thing I do enjoy is just killing the beginners. I mean, I've played Battlefield since Battlefield 3. I've never really gotten into Bad Company, but ever since then, I can say I'm a veteran, considering that I've put a lot of time in each Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. So it was very easy to just get in and just start kicking ass with my teammates. There were times where I failed a lot because of my mistakes, stupid mistakes. And another things I would just like to point out about Battlefield Hardline is the bugs, glitches. Of course, we're all expecting that. It is beta. I'm just hoping that it doesn't come out in the finalized product. But as of now, Battlefield Hardline does look like a game I will pick up, considering it's something new and different. You don't get the tanks. You do get vehicles that have stuff like explosives you can use to take out the enemy, but it isn't a big deal. Now, one thing I do feel as though is different from Battlefield 4 is the air vehicles. I haven't really checked the customization list, but I'm sure there's no tracking laser rockets like the Stingray, or the Igla. As it feels as I feel as though those aren't needed for Hardline, considering it's a cop versus criminal type games, and if they do have weapons like that, that's pretty advanced, and it just doesn't give a upper hand. If you guys do remember, back in Battlefield 4, it was very difficult to be somebody who flies the AJ or the Viper, because God, enemies were everywhere with the Stingray, and how quick it is to just reloading once you fire a shot. It was basically impossible to be somebody as a sky support. And I feel as though Hardline shouldn't really include laser locking rockets, because it will make the game feel like Battlefield 4 once again, considering that the air vehicles were the most useless in the game. I feel as though the air vehicles now have an upper hand from the transport vehicle that you see in Battlefield 4. I forgot what it's called in Battlefield Hardline, but it looks just like it, exactly like it. I feel as though with the right pilot, you can take down a lot of enemies. Now, there are those who are good with the RPG, but it's okay, that's normal, because the RPG is not laser locked. So I'm actually glad that most people aren't using laser targeting rockets, if they even are included in this beta. I haven't checked really. I've been mostly using the RPG, but as long as that's not in, I feel as though Battlefield Hardline can be different, can be approached differently from any type of gamer that loves FPS like me. That is all for my Battlefield Hardline impressions and thoughts. It still does feel like Battlefield. Just looking at the interface, that will make you feel a little bit cheated. Even though you haven't paid for it, you shouldn't really complain. I shouldn't really be complaining, but it's just something that I have to adjust, because I believe it just doesn't feel right, considering it's a new game, you know. Anyway, that is all. If that really, I don't know what I'm saying right now, but if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. This is the K.I.S.S HD, a new YouTube channel. Here I love doing games like Warframe, Battlefield. Hope to do GTA V for the PS4, and PlanetSide 2 that should hit the PS4 late June or this year 2014. But that is all, guys, and as always, keep it super simple. Peace.